I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Let me say this. I want to let you know that we are in the midst of fighting one of the world's largest banks, the Mellon Bank, and the world's largest city in administration, New York City. Now, we're going to win. We are going to win. And what New York City has been doing, what the Mellon Bank has been doing for years, has destroyed the lives of a large number of people. And I've been studying civil rights legislation and who's entitled to immunities, who's entitled to rights and liberties and privileges. I've been going through all of that. And the truth of the matter is that the city of New York and the Mellon Bank and others have been denying people their rights under the Constitution, under the 14th Amendment, under the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, under the civil rights legislation of 150 years ago, of the civil rights legislation of 1983. A lot of people have had their properties taken. They've not been given substantive due process, or, if you will, procedural due process, because they just didn't know. And the banks and the cities acting in concert and conspiracy together have ruined a lot of people's lives. And a number of people have said to me, Pastor Manning, don't talk so much. Don't talk so much. Pastor Manning, just keep a tight lip. And they told me that my telephone was, some woman called me the other day and told me my telephone has been tapped. And my cell phone, even though it's unconstitutional for them to do that, but they could have gone to a judge and said to a judge that this man, Pastor Manning, is some sort of a threat. And we need to monitor what he says and what he does. Well, I tell you, if you want to know what I say, come and sit in the Outlaw World Missionary Church on Saturday morning, or tune in the live stream of the Manning Report or the Trust in the Lord Hour, and you'll know what I say, because what I say there's what I say everywhere. What I say to Elizabeth ain't none of your business. They might want to know about that too. But I say this to you, that there's been this battle that we're in. It is wrong for you to sit there and judge me and not help me. It is wrong. It is dead wrong. Many of you have known me for years, and you've seen the strength. You've seen the victory. You've seen God calls me to look younger, be more powerful and robust. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you God will do the same thing for you if you stop judging and step up and say, Pastor Manning, we're going to help you, because a lot of people have been hurt by the banks for a very long time, and it just needs to come to an end. Pastor Manning, and you need to step up to the plate. There's some beautiful things that I have to say. The people say, when you say, well, Pastor Manning, no, there's a whole lot of things. You know, I'm going to talk to our chief engineers and everybody to find out if I write something on my iPad, right? Now, they can tap my telephone calls. They can tap that. But can they search? Because if I write something about a court strategy, about how we're planning to fight this battle, if I write some of the plans down and some of the codes, can they tap into my iPad and see what I'm writing? Can they do that? I want to talk to my engineers about that. And I suppose they probably can. I suppose they probably can. But I'm in this fight, and you ought to help. You ought to come alongside and help. I've been here in Harlem for 40 years. You've seen me for 40 years. I've been walking in truth and in righteousness. You hear me hollering righteousness all the time. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You poor too. You poor. I don't care if you got a good job working for the government, got a nice retirement package. You poor. You poor too, and they'll take advantage of you. They will, and they have. And if this voice goes down, if my voice is silent, darkness will fall like you've never seen before. But I'm going to prevail. And I want to talk to you like this, because I think you need to come alongside and help me. Stop sitting there judging me. I've told you the truth. You know I told you the truth, that the devil is paid off And I told you the truth that the mega church is not the way. That was never, I gave a prophecy, and I'm going to let y'all go. I gave a prophecy that when Fred Price died, he'd be so small you could put him in a matchbox. And I do declare, he had that 10,000-seat auditorium out there with Crenshaw Center, out there where he bought up that university out there. And when the man died, I don't think there were 100 people that came, even though he had ministered to people all over America for years. Television program, biggest television program of televangelists other than Pat Robertson. And when the man died, I don't know if 100 people came to his funeral. It was one of the saddest things that anybody ever seen. But the reason why that happened is because he lied to me and stole the great palace of worship. And when he did that, I put out the word of God as a curse out on him. And God told me that he would lose he'd lose that building and that he'd lose his life. And wasn't this so? You've heard me. The mega church is not the way. The mega church, this does not mean it means just the opposite. That's the Broadway. Jesus said that's the Broadway church. That's the Broadway. And they got a church here in New York City called the Broadway Church. Y'all need to come alongside and help me and let me be me. Let me fight this fight. I am no hypocrite. Come on now. Come on now. Help me fight this fight. All right. I'm James Everett Manning, everybody. I'm the Lord's servant.